you know, doctrine of preemptive strike.
So Scott Ritter knows about preemptive strikes, right? Are they ever a good idea? Well, the answer is supposed to be no, right? Should we let nations get away with doing first strikes? No, we should not allow that. So in Generation X, I fire rogue national leaders as first to lead the Legion, the World Army. Hey, the majority actually wanted the smartest to lead 12 years ago. We found out the truth. Any group at random will vote. They'd prefer the smartest to lead. So I'm going to say that only cowards fight with lethal weapons and bombs. Uh, you want to discontinue all this escalation through diplomacy, of course. But when it doesn't happen in the most civilized manner. And what is that? Well, you would have the leading sociologist fire rogue national leaders with the World Army. Look, they face overwhelming odds. Okay, you're going to have to listen. Your nation is going to face an international boycott, right? And uh, you face an overwhelming military uh, number. Okay, so the issue is the Samson Accord, where they nuke the whole world if they get attacked, right? Well, this is why they wanted control of the U.S. military, to do it with the U.S. military. If Israel gets attacked, the whole world gets attacked, right? That's the Samson option, right? Okay, well, look, they're trying to take over the world by force, and you're not supposed to do that. Okay, you have to stand up to the bully and tell them no. And no one's ever told the Marshall narcissists no before. Look, they'll just blow away a US president like JFK, right, and install their own leader and start the Vietnam War to start the process of taking over the world using Americans as war fodder. Why? Because they're essentially racist. Listen to little Jewish kids talking about how they're going to exterminate the whites, right? They view you as dumb goy who can be manipulated, right? So they're manipulating America, right? Benjamin Netanyahu has quotes about it, how he's going to manipulate America, right? Is that treason to give him the power of the U.S. military? Well, yes. You're not supposed to aid the enemy after they assassinate your president, after they attack the USS Liberty, after 9/11. Whether there was collusion or not at the top, look, Dick Cheney wasn't supposed to be in the PIOT asking the F-16s to stand down on 9/11. He's guilty of treason, aiding the enemy. Okay? So this goes back a long way, not just Trump, not just Biden. Historically, since JFK got shot, Israel has been manipulating America. And here you want to give them the U.S. military. Well, who leads the U.S. military if America becomes a new nation? What's left of it? Well, I do, because the majority wants the smartest to lead, right? So you have now what's called imposing command. Look here, I'll lead the Department of Defense, but Pete Hegseth has imposing command that is compromised by a foreign government. He's committing treason, attacking other nations for Israel, aiding the enemy, attacking Iran when that could put Americans in danger. It does put Americans in danger. So why would you do that? You're not looking out for our public safety when you do that. You're not a legitimate leader. Look, Pete Hegseth is obviously a religious fanatic. He's mentally ill. He's unfit for the job. He doesn't know to have a non interventionist foreign policy. He doesn't know proper U.S. foreign policy. The boomers have been indoctrinated so far by the war hawks doing treason. They forgot how America was supposed to actually run. So this is why I run continuity of government. As the 5-star dad, I fire Trump and Hegseth for 2381 treason, and I draft a president that I would trust. I selected Ron Paul as your last U.S. president for educational purposes, for a transition to the new democratic government where I lead the entire continent and every military. So this is a very delicate process, right? You have to have a U.S. president that is not corrupt to do a smooth transition to what the public actually wants the smartest to lead. So it's just how the boomers hand the baton to Generation X. Do they suppress our entire generation and all younger generations in their own Zucosis bubble to do what Israel wants because they're bought and paid for and blackmailed with the Epstein files, and Trump is intimidated with the golden pager as a gift? Look, if Trump is compromised, I'm going to give you a U.S. president that I would trust as the world's smartest man. Who would you trust in the comments as your last U.S. president?